Just taking a moment of gratitude. I was reflecting and having some conversations, and I've had more and more conversations around this. And one of the best gifts that Sarah's ever given to me was believing in me. See, when we met, I was living on a lake, and I had the picture of financial security, and the opposite was true. Fact was, I was going bankrupt, and my whole world around me was collapsing, and it was not fun. And she's been by my side this whole time. Now, with growing a family, we had a kind of a fork in the road, and she wanted nothing more than to be home with a family. Yet, I mean, she was making really good money in a job that she liked. However, she believed in me and she quit that job. And guess what? We fell on her face. And I don't know if it was 3 months later or 6 months later, she had to go back and take another position. And what we did was we reallocated. We fell down the first time, and then I don't know how much longer it was after that. She quit again. And by her believing in the fact that I'd be able to step up and be able to provide for the family is one of the best gifts she's ever given me. Because frankly, when I met her going through bankruptcy and everything else, I had given her enough reason why she shouldn't believe. Now we fast forward, and I mean, I don't know how long it's been. Maybe Sarah can fill in the dots on how long she's been staying at home taking care of our family, and our income hasn't suffered. In fact, do you know how much more motivation it's given me to go and do the things that I need to do to be able to provide for our family so that she never has to go back to work? Now, she does have a job that she does, yet the income was a non-factor in her deciding to do it. She's doing it because she wanted to. See, one of the best things that you can do as a spouse is to believe in your spouse and give them the opportunity to step up and provide for the family. There's nothing better than having my wife home with the family. There's nothing better than her number one thing being, hey, how do I wrap this family up the best that she can. I mean, I think to myself, if I had to worry about all the doctor's appointments, all of the different schedules and everything else that's going on, the amount that she frees me up to go and provide because she was willing to stay home with the kids, and because it's not as glorious as what one would think. I mean, I look at her quote unquote job of staying home. Good Lord. Like, it is so much easier for me to go to work. So Sarah, if you're watching this, thank you. Thank you for being willing to, sacrifice your career, if you want to call it that, and be a mom, be a stay-at-home wife. I know that it's way harder than if you would have chose to just stay on your professional path, and there's plenty of time for that. Our income hasn't suffered. I mean, it hasn't. I know our income would have suffered if we would have had to be a two income household where I wasn't able to go out and do the things that I needed to do for our family. And yeah, there was times that I worked a lot of hours and where she was able to stay home for the family. And that meant I worked some more. Maybe you're in that crossroads right now. What are you going to regret more 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? Going and giving up that job? If you're making $50, $100, $150,000 a year, and don't take this the wrong way or out of context, there's plenty of those freaking jobs out there. Like it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because do you think when you're 65, 75, 80 years old, you're going to care about an extra $100,000 in your retirement? Like, we're human beings. You'll figure it out. Why don't you bet on yourselves? Why don't you take that risk and say, you know what? My wife's going to stay home, or maybe it's you that wants to stay home with the kids. You won't regret 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, even if it only lasts for a year or 6 months. Even if we had that 6 months, that's 6 months that my wife had with the kids. And yeah, we failed the first time she went to stay home. So be it. We didn't give up. Do you know how many more memories my wife has and how many more opportunities she has to volunteer at the school, be part of the school board, be an active parent involved because you know what? She believed in me. And then what I did was I got intentional. I took things to the next level. I didn't mind picking up the phone and having people, judge me. I know people have judged me on what I've done. Like, they judge me because I do so many Facebook Lives and all that stuff. You know what? If you judge me, screw you. I do a great job taking care of my family. And if that makes you uncomfortable because I am who I am, if you aren't cheering me on and saying, Hank, you know what, you've taken some risks. Every single risk that I've taken is to take care of my family at another level. Every single choice. I gave up a job that I freaking loved. Do you know how much significance I had? Traveling, being the greatest thing since sliced bread, the ego. I let that all go. You know why? Because I wanted to be home. What are you being scared of? You say that your family's important to you. You say that all this, yet oftentimes actions show different. I was willing to give up this big ass house and move in with my in-laws. You know why? Because I'm not getting this family time back. I've made the decision over the next 5 to 10 years, if it's something with my family, I'm going to say yes, and money's not going to be a fucking excuse. It's not, because you know what? I'll just go make it. Or maybe I get rid of the big house. Who cares? Yet I will not live regrets. Do me a favor right now. Write down all the things you're holding off on because of money, or because you got to have the big fancy house, or the big, the newer fancy car. All your kids want is you. We didn't grow up with, tons of money or anything else. You know what? My parents were always there. They were at every athletic event. If I needed a ride, they were always there. None of that had to do with money. Somebody that needed to hear this today and believe in yourself. Go for it. Take risks. If you fall on your face, guess what? Maybe your family needs a little bit of a financial struggle. There was part of me that thought, you know what? Maybe it'd be good if we lost our house, or we had to sell our house and go move in with the in-laws, or downsize to a more modest house. It's not all bad either. You're not in as much control as you think yet. If there's something that you want out of life, go for it. Don't be scared. Well, Hank, that's easy for you to say. You know what? Screw you. Well, Hank, you're not a single dad. No, I'm not a single dad, yet I am a dad with a wife that depends on me, 3 kids that depend on me, and a lot of people. And I went backwards, and I was willing to risk it all. You know why? Because I'm not going to live with regrets. What regrets are you okay living with? And I'm sure this sounds like it's coming from judgment. It's not. However, if you tell me one thing and you're doing another, I will be the one that makes you realize that maybe what you're doing is you aren't being the parent that you want to be, because you got to have a little bit more security. Fuck security. You have a whole lot less security than what you think, because you know what? Like that, your life can change. And I keep going back to my friend Kevin Hoover. I mean, his 4-year-old has cancer. Do you think that was anything in his game plan? Like, you don't have control. Something could happen. A car accident could happen. One of your family members close to you. So, you know what? If you have everything that you need right now and you're playing scared because you need even more security, how do you know when enough is enough? You've always figured it out. That's what human beings do. You figure it out. Make the leap of faith. Make a jump. Get into action. If you screw up, guess what? There's another job out there. You've only got one life. Biggest regret that I when I interview people is they regretted not taking more risks. They regretted not going for that promotion. They regretted not taking that leap of faith into entrepreneurship. I think what my life would look like if I didn't have the balls to jump and start my own business. I mean, are you kidding me? Right now, my big distraction was my wife coming downstairs and bringing my dog here, and I get to bring my kids to school. Don't get me wrong. We have our stuff. I'm not the greatest dad in the world. I have to work my butt off because it's not natural for me to be a dad. Yet I'm showing up. Whoever needed to hear this, let me know. Maybe you need to share it and pass it to someone. I'm willing to have conversations with spouses because I don't give a shit if they like me. Because I will fight for a family to have what you want. There's always more jobs out there. There's always more money out there. And guess what? There's always people that will be there to catch you. And this is where, I think, would I ever be homeless? How many of you would bring my family in? Let's say that I risked it all and all of a sudden they were foreclosing on us. How many of you would welcome my family in and let us live there? I'm not going to go hungry. I'm not going to go homeless. I'm not. I got a backup friend to a backup friend to a backup friend. What are you playing scared with? Figure out the life that you want. Be willing to go backwards and shoot forward. If you're in my schedule and you're playing small and you're not making decisions, I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to push on that pain point, because I will not have regrets of having a conversation 3, 4, 5 years ago. And we're having the same fucking conversation right now. No way. No way. If you tell me something's important, I'm going to push on that pain point and help you go and do it. And guess what? You might fall down. You might fall on your face. Yet 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, you'll regret not doing the things that you wanted to do versus staying where you are. Grow up. Go get it done. Fight for your greatness. Believe in yourself.